word in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very nearby us. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost to this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as he ever was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promised to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much, but he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service in these wars, lady. And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man, but for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1. Ugh. Who is his companion now? He has every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but it's the fashion of his hat. It never changes with the next block.
I see, lady. Gentleman is not in your books.
No, and he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young squire now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of right noble Claudio.
Oh Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedict, it will cost him 1,000 pounds or be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro's approach.
Good Signor Linato, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid costs, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter? Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders, for all Messina is like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What my dear lady disdain? Are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she has such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat? But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart. For truly, I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have to be troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God, keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall escape a predestined and scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse as to her face such as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot, teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue and so good a continuer. Keep your way, in God's name.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all.
Let me bid you welcome, my lord, being reconciled to the prince, your brother. I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
Please at your grace lead on.
Your hand, Leonato? We will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do, for my simple true judgment? Or would you rather have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were handsome. And being no other than she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into.
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed with such a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary if Hero would be my wife.
Is it come to this? Shall I never see a bachelor of 60 again? Go to, in faith, and thou wilt thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro has returned to see you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee.
You hear, Count Claudio, I can be as secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so, but on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. But mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
Amen if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved or know how she should be worthy is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in despite of beauty.
And never can maintain his part but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. All women shall pardon me, because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that I ever lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking. Pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat, and shoot at me. And he that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonato's, commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonardo any son, my lord?
No child but Hero, she's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward with this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye that I liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying, I like their ere I went to wars.
If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and her father, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story.
How sweetly you do minister love, that no loves grief by his complexion. But lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
And I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with the force, and strong encounter my amorous tale. Then, after to her father will I break, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice, let it put presently.
What the good year, my lord. Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
Well, you should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessings bring it?
Well, if not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goes about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jests, eat when I have stomach and wait on no man's leisure, sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's business, laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his grace. It's needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. And it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain dealing villain. I am trusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of this discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Brachio?
I come yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonardo, and I give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve, Javon? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it's your brother's right hand.
Who, most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? Which way looks he?
Mary on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonardo.
A very forward march chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking in my sea room, comes me, the prince and Claudio, hand in sad conference. I whipped me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. Their cheers the greater that I am subdued.
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. One is too like an image and says nothing, the other evermore tattling.
Then half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man could win any woman in the world if he could get in her good will.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just if he send me no husband, for which blessing I am at upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, Faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Father, as it pleases you. But for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Father, as it pleases me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you not be wooed in good time.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering, brother. Make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk. And especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
And when please you to say so?
When I like your favor.
Speak low if you speak love.
I wish you didn't like me.
So would not I. For your own sake, I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
Oh, I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is over. Yes, sir?
No more words. The clerk is answered.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you tell me who you are.
Not now.
That I was disdainful. This was Signor Benedict that said so.
Oh, what's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he's the prince's jester, a very dull fool. I'm sure he's in the fleet.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. We must follow the leaders.
Sure, my brother is amorous on here and have withdrawn with her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from her. She's no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict. But hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio?
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow. About your own business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck, like a user's chain, or under your arm, like a lieutenant's scarf. You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. Was the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sedges. But that Lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince's fool? What? It may be I go under that title because I am merry. Yea, but so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person, and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady, and I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make a trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss the rod had been made, and the garland too. For the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith, you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak, but with one green leaf on it, would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there would be no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. Come, talk not of her. You shall find her the infernal 8 in good apparel.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace commend me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to be devised to send me on. You have no employment for me?
None but to desire your good company.
Oh God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord, he lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it, a double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice, therefore your grace may well have say I lost it.
You have put him down, lady, you have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I prove to be the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, Liddy, I think you're blazing to be true. Though I'll be sworn if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfect herald of joy. I were but a little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you're mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you, and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it, poor fool, it keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good lord for alliance, thus goes every one to the world but I. I am sunburnt, I may sit in a corner and cry hi-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day, but I beseech your grace, pardon me, I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you. Or out of question, you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord. My mother cried, and then there was a star danced, and under that I was born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy, my lord. She's never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For I've heard my daughter say she hath often dreamed of unhappiness, and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord. If they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, what means you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches to love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 night, and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake the head at so long a breathing, but I warrant thee, Claudio, that time shall not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one for the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but the fashionate, if you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefulest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain of approved valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that you shall fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will practice on Benedict that, in despite of his quick wit and queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, then Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
Another place where I can be, another dream to carry away.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I'm in favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero and kill Leonato. Look ye for any other issue?
Only to despite them, I will endeavor anything.
Go then, find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know Hero loves me. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her lady's chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truths of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparations overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working of this. And thy fee is 1,000 ducats?
Be you constant in the accusations. My cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him, but the drum and the fife. And now had he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. And now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now he has turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet. Just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted to see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. The prince and Monsieur Love, I will hide me in the arbor.
See where Benedict hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord.
Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today? That your niece, Beatrice, was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, aye, stalk on, stalk on. The foul sit. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behaviour seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth, but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit. There's never counterfeit of passion came so near that discovers it.
Why? What affects the passion?
Bait the hook well. This fish'll bite.
What affects my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How pray you, you amaze me. I would have, I thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
He hath ta'en the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed. So your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now, and she's beginning to write to him. For she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she have read a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all. Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself, that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
She doth indeed, my daughter says so. And the ecstasy hath so much overborne her, that my daughter is sometime afeard she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would but make a sport of it, and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, it were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent sweet lady, not of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And he is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedict. I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I pray you, tell Benedict of it, and hear what he'll say.
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentleman carry. The sport will be when they hold one in opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. Let us send her to call him in to dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth. I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly. For I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall these quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain on man from the career of his humor? No, the world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. by this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those things than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure then in the message.
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a doll withal. You have no stomach, senor? Fare you well.
Huh. Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much to say, any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity of her, I am a villain. I will go get her picture.
Too deep, felt the lost from me off my feet. You got in too deep, felt the lost from me off my feet.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard. Discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the pleached bower, where honeysuckles ripened by the sun forbid the sun to enter, like favorites made proud by princes that advance their pride against that power that bred it. There will she hide her to listen our purpose. This is thy office, bear thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come, I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafting arrow made, that wounds only by hearsay. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lopping runs, close by the ground to hear our conference.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish cut with her golden oars the silver stream and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then go we near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new-trothed lord.
They bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them if they loved Benedick to wish him wrestle with affection, and never let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full a fortunate as bed as ever Beatrice shall count upon?
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection, she is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so, and therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her slack why nature, drawing of an antique, made a foul blot. If tall, a lance ill-headed, if low, an agate very vilely cut. If speaking why, a vein blown with all winds, silent why, a block moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedick, like covered fire, consume away in sighs. waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather, I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passion, and truly I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man of Italy. Always accepted, my dear Claudio.
When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires, and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
Water, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What is this fire in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt! Farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the backs of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart for your loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band, for others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than accordingly.
I want you to hold me.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate. Then go I toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedick for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot, he is all mirth.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I, methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant. There is no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
If he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs. Or brushes his hat o' mornings. What should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him, and the old ornament of his cheek hath already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did by the loss of a beard.
Nay, or rubs himself with civet. You can smell him out by that.
That's as much to say, the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself. Conclude, he is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Old senor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life, to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite each other when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good den, brother.
If your leaves are served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me. By that now I will manifest.
Wait, what's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not marry her in the congregation, where I should wed, there will I shame her.
As I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
O day untowardly turned.
Oh, mischief straight thwarting.
Oh, plague right well prevented, so will you say when you have seen the sequel.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you?
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugo Kickster or George Sequel, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Zico. Blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both wish, Master
You
Constable.
have! I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why, give God thanks, and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no need for such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if he will not stand?
Why then, take no note of him, but let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, then he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman. For I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only you're to call at all the alehouses, and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why then, let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not then the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir?
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man, and for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may. But I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is, and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him. This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, by'r lady, I think I cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on't. With any man that knows the statutes, he may stay him. Marry not without the prince be willing, for indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offence to stay a man against his will.
By'r lady, I think it be so.
Ha, ha, ha. Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight changes, call up me. Keep your fellows' counsel and your own. And good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the bench till 2, and then all to bed.
One more word, honest neighbors. I pray you, watch about Signor Leonato's door. For the wedding there being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu, be vigilant, I beseech you.
Messina, sweet Messina, the watchmen sleep tonight. In Messina, sweet Messina, the watchmen sleep tonight.
What, Conrad?
Peace. Turn up.
Conrad, I say.
Here, man, I am at thy elbow.
Mass, and my elbow itched. I thought there would a stab follow.
I'll owe thee an answer for that later. Now on with thy tale.
Stand thee close then, under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treasons, master, yet stand close.
Therefore know I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich, for when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Did thou not hear somebody?
No, 'twas the vein on the house.
Know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out of her mistress's window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off in this orchard the amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was Hero?
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio. But the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret. And partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio, enraged, swore he would meet her, as he was appointed, the next morning at the temple, and there before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw overnight, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you, in the prince's name, stand.
Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery ever known in the Commonwealth.
Masters.
Never speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity, being taken up these men's bills.
A commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Well,
Roboto,
Why, my troth's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
my cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
I like the new tire with an excellency, if the hair were thought browner, and your gown's a most rare fashion, I'll say. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troth, but a nightgown in respect of yours, cloth of golden cuts, and laced with silver set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts, round underbone with a bluish tinsel. But for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 on't.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceedingly heavy.
Ooh, 'twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee! Art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you'd have me saying, saving a reverence a husband. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None. I think it be the right wife and the right husband. Otherwise, 'tis light, not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice else. Here she comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I am all out of other tune, methinks. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were getting ready. By my troth, I am exceedingly ill. Hi-ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all. H.
Well, and you not be turned Turk. There's no more sailing by the star.
What means the fool, Shroud?
Nothing, but God send everyone their heart's desires.
These gloves the Count sent me, they are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed? Oh, there's goodly catching a cold.
Oh, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it. Oh, doth not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Cardinus Benedictus, and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There, thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No. By my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think, perchance, that I think you are in love. Nay, byre lady, I'm not such a fool nor I list not to think what I can. Nor indeed I cannot think, if I were to think my heart out of thinking, that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedict was such another. He swore he would never marry, and now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of the town are here to fetch you to church.
Oh, help me to dress, good cuz, good Meg, good Ursula.
Another place where I can be.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Good man Verges, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as God help I would desire they were, but in faith, as honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living that is an old man, and no man honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Palabras, neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, had taken a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
Well said, i' faith, neighbor Verges. Well, God's a good man, and 2 men ride of a horse, 1 must ride behind. An honest soul, i' faith, sir. By my troth he is as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
1 word, sir. Our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined.
Examination, I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffragance.
My lord, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner, go. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit. Here's that shall drive some of them to a non-com. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
When the walls on fire, let them burn. We've got a lot to say, but we don't need words.
Ooh, let the walls on fire, let them burn. We've got a lot to say, but we don't.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief, only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her, Friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer, none.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
How now interjections? Why then some be of laughing as ha, ho, 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 ee.
Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back? Whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you would say. If I have known her, you will say she did embrace me as a husband, and so accentuate the forehand sin. No, Leonardo, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me, Diane and her orb, as chaste as the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well, that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True, oh God!
Leonardo, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face hero's? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me move but one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power you have in her, bid her answer truthfully.
Charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh God, defend me, how I am beset. What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry, that can Hero. Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. What man was he that talked with you yesternight, out at your window, betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you were a maid, Answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then you are no maiden. Leonato, I am sorry you must hear. Upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There's not chastity enough in language which offends to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero, what a hero hadst thou been, if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure in piety and impious purity. For thee, I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it be more gracious.
No man's dagger here a point for me.
How now, cousin, wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light, smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, uncle!
Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why, doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero, do not ope thine eyes. For did I think thou wouldst not quickly die, thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames. Myself would on the rear ward of reproaches strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one. Should I for that at frugal nature's frame? Oh, one too much by thee, why had I won? Why ever wast thou lovely in mine eyes? But mine and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on. Mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine, valuing of her. Why she is fallen into a pit of ink, that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little, which may season give to her foul tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not, although until last night I have 12 months been her bedfellow.
Confirmed. Oh, that is stronger maid which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie and Claudio lie, who loved her so, that speaking of her foulness washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die.
Whoa, hear me a little, for I have only been silent so long, and given way into this course of fortune. By noting of the lady I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions. To start into her face, 1,000 innocent shames in angel likeness beat away those blushes. And in her eye there hath appeared a fire, to burn those errors that this princess hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool, trust not my reading nor my observations, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, my reverence, calling, nor divinity. If this sweet lady lie not guiltless here, under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it.
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that to accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours and meat, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes.
Two of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak what truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the prince is left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this will carry shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. For so it falls out that what we have we prize, not to the worth whilst we enjoy it. But being lacked and lost, why then we rack the value, and then we find the virtue that possession would not show us while it was ours. So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life, into the eye and prospect of his soul, than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood.
Signorly, I advise you, and though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the Prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor, I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should do with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for to strange swords strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live is prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason, I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
Ah, how much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I love nothing in the world so well as you, but believe me not yet, I lie not, I confess nothing nor deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest. I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You've stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest, I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you, let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare! Easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height of villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? What? Bear her hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh, that I were a man. I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man at a window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice is...
Hero, she is wrong. She is slandered. She is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count. Count Comfit, a sweet gallant, surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend that would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, so I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice, by this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Count Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so, farewell.
Is our whole dissembly appeared?
Which be the malefactors?
Marry, that am I and my partner.
Nay, that's certain we had the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Baracchio.
Pray, write down Baracchio. Yours, Sirrah?
I am a gentleman, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir.
Yea, sir, we hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God, and write God first, for God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you. But I will go about with him. Come hither, Sirrah. A word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you writ down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, Mary, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he had received a Don John for accusing the Lady Hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, by mass that is.
What else, fellow?
And that did mean upon his words to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, and in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato's. I will go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinion.
Off, coxcomb.
God, my life! Where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer, coxcomb. Come, bind them, thou naughty varlet.
Away! You are an ass. You are an ass.
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. No, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and which is more a householder, and which is more as pretty a piece of flesh as any is in Messina. And one that knows the law go to, and a rich fellow enough go to, and a fellow that hath had losses, and one that hath 2 gowns and everything handsome about him. Bring him away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself. And 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself?
I pray thee, cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. But there is no such man. For brother men can counsel and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves not feel. But tasting it, their counsel turns to passion, which before would give perceptual medicine to rage, fetter strong madness in a silken thread, charm ache with air and agony with words. No, 'tis all men's office to speak patience to those that wring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue nor sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest reason, nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know, so shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good den, good den.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonato.
Some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou... Nay, never lay thy hand upon thy sword, I fear thee not.
Marry, beshrew my hand if it should give your aid such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Man, never fleer and jest at me. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare, despite his nice fence and his active practice, his May of youth and bloom of lustihood.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daff me? Thou hast killed mine child. If thou kill'st me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill 2 of us, and men indeed, but that's no matter. Let him kill one first, win me and wear me, let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy, come, sir boy, come, follow me. Sir boy, I will whip you from your foining fence, nay, as I am a gentleman, I will.
Gentlemen, both, we will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord.
I will not hear you.
No. Come, brother, away. I will be heard.
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, senor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, senor. You are almost come to part.
We had liked to have had our 2 noses snapped off with 2 old men without teeth.
Leonato and his brother, what thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We've been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though very many have been beside their wit. I will bid thee draw, as we do the minstrels draw, to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry? By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and the death of her shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
What? A feast? A feast?
I' faith, I thank him. He hath bid me to a calf's head and capon, the which, if I do not carve most curiously, semi-knife's not. Shall I not find a woodcock, too?
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
When shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Yea, in text underneath, here dwells Benedict the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God be thanked hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
Most profound earnest, and I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes in his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when John Brown come for you?
Justice cannot tame you. She shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now? To my Baracchio one?
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruth. Secondarily, they are slander. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly I ask thee what their offense. Sixth and lastly why they are committed. And to conclude what you lay to their charge.
Rightly reasoned, and in his own division. And by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Who have offended you, masters, that you are thus bound to your answers? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me, and let this count kill me? I have deceived even your very eyes, what your wisdoms could not discover. These shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the Lady Hero, how you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments, how you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusations, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison while he utters it.
But did my brother set thee onto this?
Yea, paid me for the practices of it.
He is composed and framed with treachery. and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved it first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonato and the sexton, too.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I know another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you know you're wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain, thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul nor I, and yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live, that were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina hear how innocent she died. Tomorrow morning come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost a copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow then I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by her brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
Oh, God save the foundation!
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave in your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship, I wish your worship well. God restore you to health, I humbly give you leave to depart, and if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor!
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands of helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then, write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for in most comely truth thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me, why shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth. It catches.
And yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hits but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret. It will not hurt a woman. And so, I pray thee, call Beatrice.
Well, I will call Beatrice, who I think hath legs.
Therefore will come. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I call thee?
Yea, Signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet ere I go, let me go with that which I came, which is knowing what has passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is knownsome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee, tell me for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For all of them together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love with me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably. Now, tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. There will I leave you too, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. It is proved my lady Hero hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Another place where I can be, another dream to carry away.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all the question.
Well, I am glad that all things sort so well.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
Do what, Signor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonardo, truth it is, good signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I my daughter lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the prince. But what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your goodwill, may stand with ours. This day to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter? Call for forth, brother. Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter that you have such a February face, so full of frost, of storm and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee, as once Europa did at lusty Jove, when he would play the noble beast in love. For this I owe you. Here comes other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
This is she, and I do give you her.
Then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
Know that you shall not, till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy friar, I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And surely as I do live, I am a maid.
The former hero? Hero that is dead?
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify. When after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of our hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Oh my God.
Soft and fair, friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why, then your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do you not love me?
Troth. No. No more than reason.
Because much there you did.
They swore that you were almost sick of me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me.
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her. For here's a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, writ in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
Miracle! Here's our hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light, I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I tell thee what, Prince, a college of wit-crackers cannot flout me of my humor. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it, and therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. Come, we are friends. Let's have a dance here. We are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife. There is no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
My lord, your brother John is taken to flight and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers. And I just start. Sorry. You lagged on that.
To carry away.
For I will.
Another world that waits for me. Another life I can wait for that. I can wait for that till we meet
English. Chicken. Suffer love. Doggy, doggy, Labrador, 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 Schnitzel, Schnitzel, Schnitzel. I'm ready.
And I with. And I.
In Messina, oh sweet Messina, the lion.
Old Joe, sir, had an amiable love.
Oh! We dropped this. Oh my god.